Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. If you've spent any time at all here at Hypnosis Health Info or had a chance to talk with me, you know that I'm very passionate about childhood obesity, about putting an end to it, and feel very strongly that it's a preventable disease that I think is just criminal that we're allowing to have happen here in the United States. And bottom line is we simply cannot afford the cost of obesity, and particularly when it's a disease that is preventable, and all the diseases that result from being overweight and being obese, things like cancer and diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease, and the list goes on. And you know, and then there's been just a number of things recently in the news that I've talked about. You know, the changes in the school lunch program, which there's absolutely changes that have to be made in our school lunches, but for goodness sakes, taking things like potatoes, I'm not talking French fries, but baked potatoes, and taking out things like beans and peas, and you know, it's craziness. You know, that we should be focusing our school lunches on real food that does look like it was dug out of the earth, picked off a plant or a bush or out of a tree, not something that man's played with and processed, and something that's not filled with animal fats and dairy products. And I came across another study report actually in WebMD from a few days ago. This is dated October 3rd of 2011, and it talks about overweight kids risk high blood pressure. And it says overweight children nearly 3 times more likely to have high blood pressure. Children who are overweight compared to their peers are nearly 3 times more likely to have high blood pressure, a new study shows. About 40% of the children in the study were above the 85th percentile on growth charts for their height and weight. When children are above the 85th percentile, doctors consider them to be overweight. Among the overweight kids, 14% had high blood pressure. That was higher than normal, while only 5% of normal weight kids have elevated blood pressure. The study also found that extra pounds are especially dangerous for kids who are already big. For an overweight and obese child, if you increase your BMI, your body mass index percentile, a little bit, that would increase your blood pressure strongly. In the same way, for just a little bit of weight loss, you could benefit greatly in terms of blood pressure. Pediatricians say this study is a wake-up call. We've tended to look at the overweight category as a lower risk category. This suggests that we really need to worry about kids who are in the overweight category. Other experts say the findings are concerning because high blood pressure has been shown to set kids up for health complications. Not only are children with high blood pressure much more likely to turn into adults who have high blood pressure, but newer studies have shown that kids can get the same kinds of organ damage to the heart, blood vessels, and kidneys that doctors once thought was only a problem for adults with the condition. One study even found that kids with high blood pressure have subtle changes in the brain area that controls attention, problem solving, and working memory. So it's not going to be a risk that's going to be in the future. It's a risk that's now. It jacks up the concern about preventing childhood obesity and also not waiting until they are obese. Folks, we just got to stop the madness. We've got to stop the insanity here of feeding our kids processed foods and taking them to fast food restaurants. And you know, the other night, we were at a restaurant, and you know, it's a family place, a very busy place. They get you out, in and out very quickly. And I was shocked to learn that in this restaurant, I already knew they had bottomless fries, and I was watching, you know, people that were sitting there with these monster hamburgers, and the waitresses and waiters kept bringing, you know, more and more French fries, and the kids and adults that were very large were continuing to eat just more and more French fries. But what I was really shocked to learn was that they also had bottomless supplies of sodas, of Cokes and Diet Cokes and things like that. And so not only are people, you know, filling up on fat and greasy foods, but then they're adding all the sugar into it as well. And I've talked before certainly about the risks of diet beverages and the reasons for not doing diet sodas, but right now let's stay focused on childhood obesity and just, you folks, we got to end this. We cannot allow this to continue. So make it a family affair. Get out and be active with your kids. Get involved in, taking them for walks or backpacking, or take them out and play a game with them outside. Get on the bikes, go swimming, do something physically active with your family. Get rid of all the chips and the candy and the crackers and the processed food stuff out of the house. Don't have them there in the cupboard for snacks. Don't send them to school as snacks. And certainly get on your schools about their school lunches of providing real food and getting rid of chocolate and strawberry milks, and really get your kids focused on water, on eating vegetables, on eating whole grains, on eating fruit. But absolutely has to be the family affair. The whole family has got to be involved in this. Don't just isolate one kid that may be overweight and have them eat different than the rest of the family. That's not going to work. And mom and dad, you have to set the example. It's not going to work for you tell your kids that they need to lose weight and provide them some grapes for dessert and you sit down to ice cream. That doesn't work. So set the example. Mom and dad, if you're overweight, you start losing weight as well. And if there's any way that I can support you with your children or with yourself with weight loss, give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com. And be sure to check around here at hypnosishealthinfo.com and at slenderforlife.com. Look at all the tools, the resources that are here to support you in your success. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.